but then it's done in meters. So you also just need to get the length, the sloping length at that given time. And of course, I've told you that for you to get that length, you need to now get the you need to get the angle, the slope. And then now let me just also sketch something here so that you get it better. So this is the length in question on both sides. Okay, so for this length, what you need to take into consideration is, now when you have your plan, which will be appearing in our next I should be explaining to you that in just a moment, but then you have that for example, if you take this to be the base, and then now this is the height, then you will use the Pythagoras theorem to calculate this length, the sloping length. So the sloping length on one end, and then you multiply by 2 for both ends, then you should be having your rake and gable end. Yeah, so these parameters, or these elements that we are explaining, you will see them, they will be affecting what we call now the verge boards. We have verge boards also that are now covering the gable ends on the extreme sides of your gable. Let me see if there is something else to talk about here. Yeah, so far so good. We've yeah, these are the various parts of the roof, which of course there are different types of roofs. So this is just a basic one, and most of its components have been illustrated, but then there are others. There are other different types of roofs which I might also need to cover in my subsequent sessions as time go by. Yeah, so I hope this brings into perspective the various terms that you might come across while making your
back to material schedule.
Okay.
Like nataka hizo vitu. Sasa hiyo ndo nataka.
Okay. Okay,
ili
fine.
tumalize ndo tuende pia kwa maneno ya concrete. Ile tunarudisha into cement bags hivyo.
Okay. Noted. So that said, yes, that said, we've already noted how to calculate the lengths of various parts. Yes. Now what we do, I talked to you about in our previous session on how you will now get the number of pieces of structural steel for every member depending on size that you will order from the hardware, so that it's delivered and you use it. Of course, we said that you get the total length, and then the total length that we've already covered how to calculate. Then you divide by the length of each of the structural steel as they are made in the manufacturing groups. So for example, 6 meters, you take the total length, say it's 120, then you divide by the length of each piece of structural steel direct from the manufacturer. So for example, here we'll use 6 meters. So take 120, divide by the 6 meters, you get the number of pieces that you will order from the hardware. Okay? Was that clear?
Yeah.
Yes. Now we go to the we go to is there any other thing?
Full length is 6 meters.
Yes, yeah, 6 meters. Yeah, unless it's customized. You understand that some buildings are quite long, so when it's you can order a tailor-made structural steel. So when you order tailor-made structural steel, then you will be able to tell them that now the span of the roof that we have is this much, and we'll need the manufacturer to produce of this length. So it's not a must that it has to be 6 meters, but then for the ordinary structures, the 6 meters are the ones that are produced. So when it's 6 meters, take the total length, divide by length of each piece of structural steel, and you get the number of pieces to order. Okay, so is there any other part that you'd like me to clarify on structural steel and structural steel on roof, for the roof construction?
Materials zinatumika ni SHS peke yake ama kunaweza tumika hizo CHS?
Okay,
the one for the trusses.
Yeah, it depends because in roof construction we even have they might even use I-beams depending on the weight that is anticipated for that given structure. You can have the circular hollow sections, square hollow sections. So these entirely depend on what the structural engineer prescribes. So for this case, if you have your BQ ready, then it's even better. So you just rely on the details that you have, and then you now work them backwards, the way we've just discussed. So for example, by the way, let me also mention to you that if you have a BQ the way you do, if you have a BQ, then the final figure that you have for these structural elements is in kgs. Is that right? Yes. So you should take the kgs, total kgs, divide by the kg per meter, so that you get the total meters that you have for those members. You get? Yes. So that you get the total meters, which you can only get by total kgs divide by now the kg per meter of that given member. Then you'll now be getting the total length, divide by now the length that you will order from your hardware, whatever is available, or the standard. For example, you'll say 6 meters. Then you get the number of pieces to bring to site. Yeah, was that right? Was that clear for you? Okay, can we carry on? Can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I remember well, I left at a point when I was explaining to you that now you use the details that you have. For example, now that you have kgs, you divide by the kgs per meter so that you get the total meters, and then from there you can now divide by that total length divided by the length that you can get from the hardware. For example, we use 6 meters to get the number of pieces. Then I asked you that I would like us to see if in case